Well, so let's go. Everybody can hear me well? Okay, good. So, yeah, thanks for being here. I'm very pleased to be back in London for a new talk. And this time I'm gonna talk about Android XR and a little like a return of experience. So, few months back, I tried like to port my company application to Android XR, and I will share like if it was success, failure, and a bit of both, obviously. So my name is Julien Salvi. I'm leading and managing the Android team at Aircall, a startup based in Paris, where we are building phone system based on the cloud for companies. I'm also an Android GDE, and you can also find me on Blue Sky for like lots of tech stuff I'm sharing. Blinking now? Oh, yeah. Is it okay? Oh yeah, good. All right, so today we're gonna talk mostly about XR and obviously Android XR and Compose XR. So I'm gonna just pose the foundation here. So I'm gonna talk like and explain you what's actually XR. Some few tips before like digging into the code, explaining like how you have a shift now for designing for XR application from 2D to 3D now. Give you like a little example for the first steps, and then I'll show you how like we port the application. Okay, so what's actually XR? So short term, like you take VR on one end, AR in the other end, put it together, you shake, and then you have XR. Okay, that's like an easy definition, but like you have like the VR on one end, like which is like being immersive. You go beyond reality. You are immersed in a new world, in a very brand new thing you are building. You bring your application to a next level. For example, like you're like consuming videos, classic on the phone, but you can also like maybe watch it like in a very immersive version of it, like a VR theater, for example. VR is also meant to be social. Like you share the experience, share what you think, where you are. That's like the main component of VR. On the other hand, AR, like you enhance reality, you enhance yourself with like some crazy stuff like filters and things like that. Uh, it's where like the digital world meets the physical one. So you place object and you are aware of the real world component. And also there like a social part of the thing where like people can also interact and see what you place on the scene and whatsoever. So like to put a definition on XR, which means for extended reality, it's really the umbrella term for immersive technology that covers AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, VR, and like the mix of the both, the MR for mixed reality. So few principles here we must take into account with XR. So reliable space perception. So we are aware of like the world that is surrounding us, and the people that are on this XR technology are the centerpiece of what the user is saying. We should also take into account that low latencies and resource efficient for rendering. It consumes a lot of like memory footprint to render 3D objects, complex UI. Like with this new headset, you are no more plugged into like a power source or I don't know, like a big computer with a big tower. So it's just like an embedded system. So you need and more be focused on low latency and resource consuming thing. So I'm gonna show you where we come from. So this was this beautiful cardboard back in 2014 to this brand new headset that was released few days ago now. So a bit of a timeline. So the journey to Android XR, It all started with the cardboard, like back in 2014. It was like the beginning of the third VR and like say XR hype. So we've seen a lot of stuff with like the cardboard. Then Daydream was introduced to really immerse the person into this new world of virtual reality. And then like beginning of like 2018, yes, AR core was pushed. And so a new component of the XR world with the augmented reality technology. And then it was a bit of the downfall of the VR tech at Google. So Google archived lots of SDKs around cardboard and discontinued Daydream in the 2020 years. So this was like the first downfall of the XR journey. But like still on with the AR technology, which is like still running. So between 2020 and I was surprised that like even in 2023, the beginning of the year, like the Google Glass, especially for enterprise, was still a thing. Like Google was still supporting Google Glasses till 2023. So I was a bit surprised, but between like these 4 years, like 2020 and 2023, it has been like a bit of like a desert in terms of XR technologies. AirCore was still there, still being pushed, maintained. Also one of the Cardboard SDK, but like just maintained, no more like brand new things doing iOS, stuff like that. AirCore had like a bit more support from Google. And then late 2024, yeah, Google announced the new XR SDK and technology and new headset that are like coming in months and years. So with the VR and like let's say XR hype is going up again with this like wall announcement. So the new SDK are being released. We still in alpha for Android XR, especially like the Compose and the native SDK as well. Like a few days ago, we saw the release of the brand new Galaxy XR headset. So that is the first like public headset that is released with Android XR. So that's where we are. We are now here with like a brand new SDK, alpha versions, brand new headset. So we have now the capabilities to bring our own application to Android XR. So yep, this is brand new and the first headset. All right, so now I'm gonna give you a bit of like a design principle for XR before digging into the code. So there is really a mental shift here to go from like the classic 2D design we know in our applications to like a very 3D immersive experience. So XR like let the apps occupy an infinite like space in front of us. It means to be immersive with a bunch of components, like some special panels, also the environment that surrounds us, which like might be a video sphere or like a 3D model, like to really immerse the user into this brand new experience. And also the user can interact with 3D model, either within like their own like virtual world or taking into account the spatial space that is around the user. So we must treat XR as a new platform. We don't just need like to port like you can like just like if you launch your application on Android XR, it's already working. Like you don't need like to do anything else, but it's just gonna be your application in a 2D panel and that's it. So it's not what it means for. So don't just port your phone UI to Android XR. Identify where it can be like very beneficial for spatialization, where you can like use your hand for 3D exploration, or having persistent dashboard to see like maybe some data in 3D, like to have some data visualization, stuff like that. So there are few spatial UI rules for that. Okay. So placement and comfort, like we are evolving like in a 3D world. So you have to think like, okay, my UI is gonna be in front of me, and it has to be like comfortable for the user. We don't seek for motion sickness, so the user like feels comfortable in like actually using the application, seeing all the components. Don't place like components like in the back of the user where the user has to like turn around, like do multiple movement. So there are like a few rules like to respect when you're starting like to develop for XR. Also, all your components will be movable and resizable. So if your application already supports large screens, that's a very good point. Because like you might like stretch the panel, so it might move to like a two-side panel and so on. So remember, like the user can stretch, move the panels, so it has to be readable at any time when the user is using the application. Also use some components that are like provided by the SDK. Obviously, like the panels when you're gonna render the main content of your application. But they are also introducing a component called orbiters that are like tiny components, as you can see here on the left and right side, and also on the bottom side. Just component that will help you like interact also with your main content, mostly navigation, applying like filtering, anything that can like be useful for the main content. So that are like some of the main special UI rules for XR. And some practical patterns around that. So I was speaking like about like the panels orbiter. So you can like see like here 2 panels and 1 orbiter to like navigate between screens. So use like if you are relying on material design, you can still use them, and it's totally good to stick to that design system to like build your XR experience. It will like speed the development and keep your consistency with like the current application you have. Yeah, you use all the SDK components. Be aware of like motion and performance. So like beware of the orientation change. You have like you need like to, as I said, like a support live screen for better integration. Once you're done, you can easily test on an emulator with Android Studio. Or if you're lucky enough, and especially if you want to go to production, use a real headset. Here you will have like the real perception and see like how it looks like in the real world. All right, so let me show you like the first sample with Android XR. So I'm gonna let's have our first steps with this new technology. So we're gonna enter the matrix in a few minutes. So I'm gonna show you how you can like create a quick project with Android Studio. Show you the basic components of Android XR. Like you're gonna see like a very tiny application, and then we will dig like into like a further implementation. So let's have this live demo, but like just to have like a bit of a glossary, where we're gonna talk about like subspace. So subspace is like the 3D area where your app will evolve in this new 3D world. A panel, this is like the big content in the middle or the one of the side you're seeing. The orbiter are like floating elements that are typically used for controls or navigation for panel. All right, so let's jump into Android Studio. So if you like want to create like a brand new XR experience, like without like previous application, you just want like to build for XR and that's it. So you can like open Android Studio, create a new project. This is like available even with not within like Canary version or beta version, already released in the stable version, but still in preview. So if you want to use one of the templates, go to XR, and there is like a basic headset activity, so you can like have like the foundation of your application without any pain. So creating the sample, like you end up here. So just a basic activities. I'm gonna maybe up. Setting font. Okay, so that's a bit better for the code. So you have your application fully in Compose, defining your theme, and you're gonna be using like some local spatial configuration and capabilities to check if like the application is actually supporting Android XR, and to check if we are actually in this XR environment. So when you are building like and porting your application, you don't want like to have like one application for XR, one application for like the classic way of consuming mobile application. It will run all in once application. So you need to check like if you are on XR, you want to render maybe your components differently than the one in the classic 2D environment. So that's like very efficient, like the best way to check if you are like on XR or not. Then you're gonna define your subspace, the subspace where the application, the content will be rendered, and you'll have like your basic, like say, like for now, the basic content. I'm gonna define a new panel. Inside this panel, I'm gonna have like a main content, whatever it's gonna be, your list, your text, whatever screen you want to render. And here we have an orbiter placing at the top end of the screen to like move from like the plain 2D world to like the 3D thing. So that's the basic components here. Like you need like to take into account. You can also like there are also like some spatial column, box, row, and so on. So you can like think and build your component as you do for classic Compose. And so let's run the sample here. Gonna move a bit. So this is like the 101 thing to know about XR. When you launch your application, like it will be rendered in 2D, like we know it. Like we have like a button in the 2D surface, like to when we're gonna click on it, like we're gonna check, okay, are we in XR or not? And when we're gonna click on it, we're gonna request the full mode by using this special configuration here. So special configuration, when you want like to switch from XR, well, let's say like from 2D to 3D, you're gonna request like the full space mode. That's a function that is defined in the SDK. So with that, you will enter like this brand new 3D experience. And when you want like to move back to the 2D experience, you have the request home space. So clicking on it, like basic stuff. So you're gonna have like your wall panel. You may like move the panel. Also, stretch it. So you can like stretch it, like downsizing it, like upsizing it, up you want. Like, so if you have, like, as I said, like a large screen already supported application, it will be like much easier, like in terms of scaling, obviously, as you already like supporting like landscapes, large screen support. So that is basically like the main components to know, playing with the spatial configuration and the capabilities of the environment and the device. In the manifest, no need like to add much. You might want to check if you want like to build only for XR, there is like a feature you need like to check, but not mandatory. And in terms of libraries, you have this compose. Let's check runtime for XR here. So Android Compose. Let me shrink that. Android Compose, Android Runtime, and Syncore for like taking into account like the real world that's around you. Oh, it's not up to date. So we are now in Alpha 8. There were like a few changes back then. So as it's still in alpha, the API is still evolving. So moving from one version to another, you might break a lot of things. And for example, like this is like breaking. This is no longer existing because before they were like placing like the resizable and movable as modifier of the spatial panel, but no longer, it's no longer the case. So we're gonna remove that, and now they're just like exposing like a drag policy where we're gonna be okay. It's a movable policy and just want like to be able to move the panel, and a resizable policy. So I want to be able to resize the panel, and that's pretty much it. Like, obviously, the API will change along the way, but like check the release note. They are like well aware, like migrating from one version to another, like it's well explained. So no need to worry about that. All right, so let's go back to the slide first. So now I'm gonna show you like a little return of experience. Like, okay, as I said, like a few months back, it was an internal hackathon at my company, and as I used to work a lot with VR and AR technology in the past, like building application for Cardboard, Daydream, and stuff like that. When I saw this brand new XR SDK and our application was already well advanced in Compose, I said like, okay, I must give it a try and see like if within a day I can have like something potentially like nice and running well on this like new XR emulator. So this is like the application I'm working on, and it's like a calling application where you have like a bunch of conversation open, classic bottom nav navigation to like navigate from one tab to another, floating action button to actually like open the dialer and call someone. So I sit down and think like, okay, like I see what I want to do and what is actually the state of the app. We are currently 19% compose, but we still have like many activities where we navigate between multiple screens. And unfortunately, we don't yet support like large screens. So okay, like I say, maybe it's gonna be one blocker, but let's see. So how did it go? Knowing the current state of the application at the moment, was it a success, failure, bit of both? So I'm gonna show you. So when I like first sit down and think about like what's gonna be the experience in this like brand new XR experience. So this is basically a few mockups of the application. You have the button nav. When you click on the floating action button, it opens like a new screen where the user can dial and tap the number. So I was thinking like, okay, we might have like the main screen in front of us. When clicking on the item, we can like definitely open a new panel on the side, seeing the conversation detail, for example. I'm gonna like put the bottom navigation in an orbiter to like maximize the space you have in front of the user. So the main content is what is showing in the screen is the main content the user is interested in. So we should have like the focus on what is actually good for the user, bottom navigation just on the side. I was thinking also maybe we can push the, let's say, the search above in an orbiter. Maybe it's a good pattern, maybe not. But I was thinking that as first. And always having the dialer on the side in another panel, not having this floating button, but having this dialer like visible and accessible at any time when the user is actually using the application. So at any time, he can just like push the button and call someone. And obviously, as you see, like the little arrows there, just like meant for okay, the panel on the side will be like in front of you, but like the other panel will be a bit curved. So we have this kind of like curved V-ish screen in front of you. Okay, so let's move back to Android Studio. So this is the brand new application. Okay, so the thing is running. Just killing the sample here. So when I first I was in my main activity that all the home screens and like the further navigation within the home screen. So I'll check. Okay, like I'm in my navigator. Like okay, I'm gonna check if I'm actually in the spatial UI that is enabled or not. If yes, I'm gonna like create a new layout where I'm gonna like pop the current screen of the navigation, so like the main component of navigation. I have a main orbiter at the bottom of the screen to hold like the bottom navigation. And then if I'm not in 3D, I'm just gonna render the screen as it is now in the application. Also, when we put that, so we can put like a nice alpha animation, like so it's like the user appears like quite smoothly. Create the subspace, defining a special row, a new special column where we're gonna like show the dialer on the side and the main content then in the middle. So everything will be movable and resizable. We're gonna have like our primary content where like this is like the main screen of the application and the orbiter that will hold the bottom navigation. So this was like all the components accessible within the actual home activity, and it was easy like to move. Okay, I'm gonna show the bottom navigation within the orbiter. So when I'm actually like in a 2D environment where I'm actually in the home screen. So yeah, so when I like meant to render the bottom bar. If I'm not spatialized, I don't render it, and I can like navigate easily within the tabs. So when I did that, was like pretty happy. Okay, like we can like have something like very like a very quick and something that is maybe working. So let's say I'm gonna launch the sample, making things bit bigger. So this is like when you launch your application, it's always like being landscape. So if you what landscape-ish, depending on like the size you give to the panel. So obviously we don't like unfortunately we don't support like large screen. So you see like it's not the best UI in Portrait. Like it could have been like better integrated here. So let's you have your panel, you can move it, but it's just like you can't resize it because it's just like the rendering of the plane activity. We are not yet in this like 3D and spatialized UI. So I put a little banner like say, okay, like the XR space is available. You can like go full XR. So this is basically like your application render in the 2D panels. That's it. But if you want to support and have like a brand new XR experience, then adding the panels and the other thing. So you have like starting to have a better experience. So you have now like the bottom navigation that is like separated from the main screen, which is evolving like in the bottom of the screen. Your screen is, I said resizable, so I can like resize my screen as much as I want. We'll be able like to move the screen. Let's take a bit of a step back here. Up. So think like we can like simulate the behavior of the user. So like moving forward. So we need like to think of also like where we're gonna place our components, so it feels like natural for the user to interact with all the screens that are in place. And so then I can definitely use my app quite easily. I have some contact and say, okay, maybe I'm gonna show the contacts. Yeah, and I say, wow, okay, yeah. So this is going from one activity to another. So every time you switch activities to activities, you need to actually like re-implement all the subspace, the spatial panel, and stuff like that. One big advantage you have if your application is like a single activity architecture, you have a big win. You just navigate across like compose screen, and that's it. Like you have like your core spatial panel and all the orbiters you need at first, and then you're just navigating between screens. So if you are like using multiple activities, you'll have like to set up multiple times as you set up like your compose theme and so on, the spatialization of the screen. So, but like if everything is within compose, so I can switch from like one tab to another. And like when I was like trying like, okay, let's say I want to move this like search bar at the top in an orbiter. I look at the code like we have in our home screen, and actually it was a bit, let's say, difficult because everything was tied to the actual screen. Like also like if you want like to have like almost a seamless integration and say, okay, I'm gonna put these components here, here, and here. Think of like the component as isolation. The more isolated the component can run like on their own, the easier it will be like to put a search component at the top or put a bottom navigation at the bottom, for example, having like a new panel on the right or on the left and so on. If all like components and features are isolated, the better it will be for the integration. So everything can be resizable, movable, as I said. And that was like the lesson learned also, like as we don't support large screen, if you do support large screen and your app is adaptive, the integration will be seamless. So you will have like this like two panel interaction that is already defined when you are like working with large screen. And it will be way much easier like to add panels and add new components to the actual 3D environment. Yeah, that's almost it. And let's go back to the slide. Little wrap up before going back to my business. All right, so Android XR, a few takeaways. It's there like to build new immersive experience. And immersive experience, I see like gaming app, video apps where you can like really immerse in this new experience, and also workspaces. Like my company is building like an application where you can like call, send message and stuff like that. So having like a brand new workspace experience could also be a good use case here. There is a new design paradigm. So instead of thinking 2Ds, but you still need like with your main content, like you need to think 3D now, like for all the panels and orbiters you have to handle. One question we could like ask ourselves is like, is this the age of maturity for this whole like VR, AR, let's say now XR technology? We'll see. It's promising, but we'll see how it goes. So it bringing like the best of VR and AR technology all together in a single environment. So is it enough to go mainstream at the moment? Maybe yes, maybe not. In my opinion, like it will start to go mainstream where we're gonna have like XR experience with this kind of headset, like classic glasses we have now. For now, we still have like this huge headset, not super convenient, like if you want to go shopping. For example, like it's just like an at-home experience. Like we've seen like some technology breakthrough. So with the meta glasses and stuff like that, we know we are close to this kind of experience. But it will be mainstream where it's going to be like the meta glasses and affordable for everyone. And the lesson learned I have like for porting my application to XR. So it's like if your application is already being supporting large screen, it's a big plus, and you will have like a major advantage in like moving to an XR support. If your application is full compose, you can quickly iterate and place your screen inside the panels and stuff like that. So also a big plus. Favor the single activity architecture, not to re-implement every time the subspace, the panel and stuff like that. Think of the component isolation to like quickly like move some components inside your screen to like another screen that can like act on their own. So on the model, on components, the component is isolated and can work like seamlessly on their own. And yeah, as I said, like big advantage for full compose application. It will be very easy to have like a very good V1 in terms of experience. So a few resources, Android XR, designed for XR from the Google developer site. One videos regarding like the announcement of the XR technology. There is one or two code labs in the developer code labs that is like quite interesting if you want like to jump in and like play with the basics. Like then you can like use this knowledge to port your application. So yeah, let's enter the matrix all together. Like play with XR, have fun. Yeah, thank you for listening. If there are any questions, I'll be pleased to answer also. Yeah.
So I was curious if you have a configuration to open multiple windows of the same app. Is that possible?
Let's say like to open like multiple. Let's say you have multiple panels, or
Yeah, for example, even the bottom now.
Yeah.
Each tab to be a new screen.
That's possible. Yeah, you can have like multiple panels. Well, obviously, like maybe above like 4, 5, it's gonna be like maybe a bit busy for the user, like to see like multiple information at the same times. But that's totally feasible. Yeah. And, any more question? Yeah, you actually need the headset like to actually see the hand tracking stuff and the like the actual like yeah and tracking and playing with the components. Yeah, on the emulator it's just like a point and click thing. Unfortunately, so yeah, you need like unfortunately to have like a real headset. No, it's quite expensive. I think it's like 1,800 euros or dollars, or I don't know the actual currency. Maybe it's gonna be more in euros. But no, way too expensive now to just have fun with. All right. Well, I'll be around like if you want like to have a chat or anything else. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.